When the sorrowful news of the Sultan's death echoed through the palace, a heavy silence settled over the imperial halls. "The Sultan is dead." These words carried more than grief. They signaled the end of an era and the beginning of uncertain, sweeping change. The women of the harem, especially those closest to the late ruler, wept bitterly. Sultanas clutched their sons, knowing that separation was near and it could be permanent. In that moment, the once glorious harem, a place of splendor, secrets, and power, transformed into a realm of fear and anticipation. The power structure shifted swiftly. A new sultan ascended the throne, and with him came a reshuffling of every role and every destiny. Only one woman had reason to rejoice: the new sultan's mother. As Valide Sultan, she now held the most powerful position a woman could attain in the empire. Her influence would shape the future of the court. For the rest, this transition marked the twilight of their lives at the heart of power. By Ottoman tradition, the wives, concubines, and unmarried daughters of the deceased sultan were moved to the old palace, the Eski Saray. Built in 1458, it had once been the primary royal residence. But beginning with the reign of Mehmed the Conqueror, it became a place of quiet exile for former harem women, a luxurious retreat, yet far removed from the pulse of imperial life. The new sultan was expected to form his own harem. Inheriting his father's women was not only culturally taboo, it was explicitly forbidden under Islamic law. The Quran prohibits a man from marrying any of his father's wives to preserve family sanctity and avoid even the appearance of incest. As such, each ruler had to begin anew, surrounding himself with a fresh circle of consorts and concubines. Some of the previous sultan's concubines were manumitted and allowed to marry high-ranking officials, even those who had lost sons or borne only daughters. But many others remained in the old palace, single and sidelined, often alongside aging Valide sultans, now grandmothers to the new ruler, and stripped of all political influence. Yet life in the old palace was far from cruel. Despite being a kind of exile, it offered comfort and luxury. Contemporary accounts speak of spacious chambers, blooming orchards, marble fountains, and serene courtyards. One Italian traveler described it as a paradise where the women's every wish was granted without delay. A British treasury official stationed in Istanbul noted its elegance, its quiet beauty, and the air of calm that surrounded it. Still, not all found peace after the death of a sultan. Pregnant concubines and young princes often faced grave danger. One of the most chilling moments in Ottoman history came under Sultan Mehmed III. He ordered the execution of 7, and by some accounts up to 12, of his father's pregnant concubines to prevent the birth of potential rivals. This came shortly after he had 19 of his own brothers strangled, a grim yet accepted tradition intended to secure the throne. Over time, this brutal practice of fratricide gave way to a new system, one no less confining but less bloody. It was called the kafes, or the gilded cage. In this system, the sultan's brothers were locked away in a secluded wing of the palace. Though they lived in comfort, they were denied the right to marry, to leave, or to father children. It was a life sentence behind velvet curtains. Thus, with the death of a sultan came not just the end of a reign, but the collapse and reconstruction of the world within the palace walls. For hundreds of women, their futures would now be decided by the will of the next ruler, and the tides of tradition,